heads in the bed for those off-season times.
Spring and fall, yes.
And we continue to look forward to that. And I appreciate all the work of the group that's gone into this. It had a very rocky start, I guess, and a lot of people have put aside their situations and worked cohesively to bring this forward. And it's, as the chair, it's greatly appreciated. Supervisor Delmar.
Thank you. Mr. Zotter, isn't the motion is to approve the fiscal year annual report? Wouldn't we just be accepting it, not necessarily approving it? We didn't obviously.
No, I think under the ordinance, you do approve the annual report as submitted in terms of the resolution that's before you. That means then the public can make comments on that approved annual report. You do have, when you have your public hearing, you have the option to making changes. If you make changes, though, to the annual report, then you have to reconduct this proceeding to then hold your confirming public hearing. So we will be bringing back another resolution to you at your public hearing, which will actually be a confirming resolution.
Okay.
All right. Any additional comments from the board? Okay, I'll invite any public comment at this point. And please rapidly step forward and keep your comments to 3 minutes. And, oh, I've got one. All right. Please keep your, state your name for the record and keep your comments 3 minutes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joe Bradley, and I am still the president of the Mendocino County Lodging Association. And again, I would like to thank you all for your support, your patience, and just letting us go forward with this so we can do what we set out to do, and it's being done. So thanks again.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, seeing no additional public comment, I'll close the public comment period on this item and bring it back to the board for comments or action. Yes.
Well, I just need to make a comment through the chair. It's amazing that I see a number of faces that drove long distances, number of hours in the car, and they're not commenting. I find that interesting. But that's okay. That's okay. I think that we've heard in a number of venues and arenas that about the great work that you're doing, and even as I mentioned yesterday at our economic development meeting that Scott's been talked about at the Northern California meeting of the RAC, the Research Advisory Committee, on the partnership that's already happening with Mendocino County on the geotourism and the partnership with BLM and National Geographic Society. So that's just one of the things that I've heard in the larger community, also with the Shasta Cascade tourism folks, because they sit on the Bureau of Land Management RAC as well. They feel that they have a very good partnership now with Mendocino County, and Scott addressed the issue yesterday of we know we have more information now about where tourists are coming from, and I think Scott said yesterday the U.S. is on sale, and so our promotion of tourism outside of this country is really key. And the Shasta Cascade Group was onto this a number of years ago, and so they've continued to keep us and work with us as a partner. And I think now that the bid process is going, that we're a more involved partner than we were before, and I think that that's excellent. So if council is saying that we're okay to move forward on the recommended action and that's been reviewed, I would like to do so at this time.
Okay, the motion before us has been made. Do I hear a second? Second. It is a second from Supervisor Colfax. And just a comment to my colleagues' comments about lack of speakers coming forward. Maybe we should learn from this group and not argue amongst ourselves when things are going our way. So add a little.
Mr. Chairman, I strongly object to that comment. I think here that since all these people spent all that time in the cars, how many people drove over? Anyhow, I think, yeah, the vast majority. You spend 2 hours over, 2 hours back, it's 4 hours. I think they should be entitled to speak as much as our inland constituencies speak here before us, and today, I think that means they would be entitled to probably 60 to 70 hours at this particular moment. But anyhow, appreciate their coming over here, and if you don't have anything to say, boy, I wish some of the inland people would learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. I'm glad we're all back in a good mood. Any additional comments? And seeing none,
Just
Supervisor Pinches.
yesterday, he said that here in the United States that we was on sale. This morning, we went up for sale.
Don't bring us any more bad news, Mr. Pinches. Okay, I'll call for the vote on this motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Passes unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Chair, board members.
Okay, let's see, let's back up one step and go to item 6C, the planning team update.
So you're gonna limit my time, please?
3 minutes, please.
Well, I'm trying to give you a thorough report. It's been a while since I gave you a planning team report, and so I will move through this, but if you've got any questions as I go along, feel free to interrupt, because I'm the only one you'd be interrupting. I wanted to just go over a little bit of the organizational background for the planning team, because that has come up as an issue in a couple of the last discussions that we've had here. So just to be clear, the planning team was established as a separate unit under the direction of the assistant CEO in the executive office for 3 specific reasons. One was to concentrate advanced planning activities in a specific unit, with the executive office essentially clearing obstacles out of the way. That's what I see as my role in this, rather than having the advanced planning activities diluted within the busy planning division of the planning and building department. So that was a key role, and it's one that is continuing to be fulfilled. The other was to have staff who were assigned only to advanced planning activities, instead of having them juggle those with current planning, because current planning, which is more immediate, always crowds out the advanced planning. And then finally, it was a signal from the board of the urgency and the commitment to completing the Ukiah Valley Area Plan and the general plan, and that's what this effort represented. The work of the planning team consists both of contract administration, and there are a number of contracts here. I won't bore you with the list, but suffice it to say there's one for each of the major projects. And it also consists of staff work in creating and updating maps and data tables, reviewing proposed amendments, researching various issues, and developing reports on rezones, et cetera. So there is staff work, and then there's the administration of the contracts with consultants who are actually drafting some of these materials. But even drafting materials takes a lot of work with staff working with them in partnership. The planning team consists of 5 positions: the chief planner, senior planner, 2 planner 3s, and an administrative assistant. And as has been mentioned previously, the chief planner has been vacant for a year. The senior planner position has been vacant for about 6 months. And there have been concerted efforts to fill them, with Phil announcing his retirement at the end of April. Filling the chief planner position takes on an even greater urgency, and Phil and I are working together on that. And we hope to have that addressed before Phil leaves. But I do want to talk about the expert service of Phil as the planning team manager, and the work of the planning team has really been humming along under his leadership. So we've been very fortunate to have him in the meantime. We also have a student intern who's working part-time extra help to assist with the workload. And as you'll see later when I get to the Mendocino Town